प्रपन्न पारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। This chapter 6 of Bhagavad Geetā is popularly known as the chapter on meditation. Rightly so, starting from the 10th verse, which we shall take up in this class, there is going to be a portion consisting of 23 verses. And these 23 verses actually give a good outline of the practice of meditation and details associated with it. Therefore, the first 9 verses are a preparation. In a way, they are a review of what was covered before, but it is very connected to meditation, for unless we know what fitness is required, what eligibility is involved in getting down to meditation, we would not do well to take up meditation. Our meditation might not go on in a proper way if we overestimate ourselves, if we neglect the acquiring of necessary qualifications, or to put in other words, if we think that our daily life can be of any kind, but morning and evening we will sit in meditation and rise spiritually, we would be mistaken. The way we live the remaining hours of the day is intimately connected to the quality of our meditation. We have been seeing this portion where it began with Sri Krishna spelling out very clearly, unless you have vairagya, you got to stay in karma yoga. When you have a high degree of vairagya, you are poised to go for renunciation, and effective meditation is only for those who have renounced. Of course, we hasten to clarify, we don't mean wearing orange robes and going to the Himalayas or somewhere. It is an internal issue. Internally, if you have renounced seeking pleasure, seeking name and fame, internally, if you don't even depend upon others' recognition and appreciation, then you are ready for the higher and more effective meditation. Otherwise, you may sit morning and evening or many times a day. You may claim, I nowadays meditate a lot. And you depend so much on people's appreciation, phalasakti that is. Somebody says, I don't value this meditation of yours. I don't think you are a good meditator. That itself may hurt you. That itself may provoke, that itself may disturb you so much. Then that's a clear sign that you are not fit for the higher meditation. You may continue to meditate, but it will reduce to a far lower kind of upasana. It will reduce to some kind of prayer, some kind of mental exercise, where some benefits you may get. But you see, the higher meditation, you may want to know what I am calling the higher and more effective meditation. The higher and the more effective meditation helps you anchor yourself in the pure self. For ultimately, it is knowing who you are in reality that can free you from all sorrow, all fear. We saw last time the verses 7 and 8, where Sri Krishna once more praised the Yoga Ruda. After saying our own mind can be our best friend when handled properly, and our own mind could be our worst enemy when mishandled, he then talked about someone who indeed has handled his or her mind properly. So beginning with Jitatmanaha, one who has conquered one's own mind. It is rightly said at many places, he who conquers his own mind conquers the world. The whole world cannot do anything to us if we have conquered our emotions, our thoughts, our impulses, our urges. We are, we are capable of letting go of a habit which might have been with us otherwise for decades. Then that is Jitatma. The Jitatma has God so close to him. He is ever content. And the last word we saw in the last class was Samaloshkashma Kanchana. He or she has equal vision towards a lump of clay, a stone, and gold. It's an idiomatic expression. What it means is a wide range of objects which are otherwise regarded as of high value or low value, very useful or useless, and so on and so forth. All of them do not mean anything to him. He looks at them with equal vision, meaning personally he does not depend on them. Personally, he does not have anything against them. On occasion, depending on the situation, he may use them and then leave them. He is not attached to any of them, nor is he averse to any of them. So, in one more verse, before the portion on meditation begins, Lord Krishna now says that same Yoga Ruda, same person who has already evolved quite a lot and is fit enough for effective renunciation and truly effective meditation. That person is again described. Suhran mitra yudasina madhyastha dveshya bandhushu sadhushvapi cha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. The earlier word was sama loshtashma kanchana. Sama means equal. Sama means maintaining the same level. Loshta ashma kanchana, lump of clay, a stone, and gold. Looking at gold, his level of excitement doesn't go up. Looking at a mere lump of clay, his level of excitement does not go down. Or if you don't like the word excitement, his serenity, his cheerfulness, he being in good spirits, is not affected by this so-called precious things of life and useless things of life. They are so-called by others. For him, all are equal. So such a samabuddhi, samaloshtashma kanchanaha, here samabuddhi is praised, vishishyate. He stands apart. How? Here, rather than lump of clay, stone, and gold, 9 categories of people are enlisted. Their list is given. 7 in the first half of the shloka and 2 more in the second half of the shloka. Adi Shankara in his commentary hastens to add this first half of the shloka, Purvardha of the shloka, is one compound word. is a single compound word, grammatically speaking. It ends with bandushu. So that seventh case plural takes all the 7 words. What are the 7 words? Suhrit, Mitra, Ari, Udasina, Madhyastha, Dveshya, Bandhu. There are 7 categories put together in a single Dvandva Samasa. Dvandva Samasa puts all together, they are all on par. There is nothing like one is a main word and others are secondary. In a compound like Nilotpala, blue lotus, Utpala is the main word. And as a qualifier, what kind of lotus are you talking about? Blue lotus. So, Nilotpala, we say, Uttarapada Pradhana. Utpala is important. Neela gives additional information. And in Bahuvrihi Samasa, Chakrapani, a third word is important. Neither Chakra nor Prani, but Vishnu, who holds in his hands, Pani, a Chakra, the Sudarshana Chakra, the disc. That's called Anyapada Pradhana. But in Dvandva Samasa, whether there are 2 items, 3 items, or 20 items, all of them are on par. They are equal. Here, for example, Suhrit, Mitra, Ari, Udasina, Madhyastha, Desha, Bandhu, all of them are taken with equal consideration, grammatically speaking. In the world, for some people, Suhrit may be very important, and a Bandhu may be less important, a Dvesha may be neither important nor sought after. They may want to keep away. Dvesha. Dvesha means someone who is worthy of being hated. Dvesha Yogya. So, towards a friend, towards a well-wisher, towards a person indifferent to you, towards somebody who wishes well for both you and your adversaries, towards somebody who you don't like, and towards your relatives, towards all of them, and 2 more, sadhushu, papeshu. Sadhu, pious people, papa is evil people, sinful people. Towards all of them, a yoga ruda attains samabuddhi. Every day he also meets all these categories, like any of us. We meet people who criticize us, we meet people who praise us. Suddenly some relatives show up, suddenly some who are indifferent, to whom we don't mean anything. They come, they just do their business. Otherwise, they have no special attachment or aversion to us. Such people, udasinas, come to us. So when we meet them, typically what happens? Somebody who praises us comes to us, and after she goes, we are so happy. Wow, she made my day, and so on, we say. And somebody comes and talks ill right in front of us, then after he goes away, we say, what a bad day. Today my whole day is spoiled. My mood is spoiled by this visitor, and so on. This Yoga Ruda is not like that. He listens to criticism as well as praise with equanimity. So, who are these 9 categories? Let's take a Shankara Bhāshya's explanation. First of all, he says, Suhrit ityadi shlokardham ekam padam. As a word, it's a single word, what we call a compound word, like soap box in English. Soap box is a compound word, a box in which soap is kept. So here, Shlokardham ekam padam. Then he takes up each word. Suhrit means pratyupakaram anapekshya upakarta. There are some people who are so good They don't expect anything in return from us. And they help us. They are so kind, so generous. And we wonder, why did she do this for me? What was she expecting? When we learn she was not expecting anything. Such a person is Suhrit. Then Mitram is full of friendly sentiments. And yes, a friend may come and help you at times. And at other times, the friend may expect you to help him or her. In contrast to both these, Suhrita and Mitra, there is Hari, Shatruhu, enemy, Udasinaha. Adi Shankara's commentary is so simple at such places. Na kasyachit paksham bhajate. Udasina is somebody who doesn't take either side, keeps aloof, and even if you try to drag him into a situation where you are fighting with somebody, the Udasina would say, keep me out of this. Please do not pull me into this. I want to keep a distance. You people sort it out between yourselves. Udasina. Then Madhyastha. Madhyastha wishes well for both the parties. He neither takes your side nor takes other person's side, but wants the good of both. This Udasina did not take either side, but is not interested in solving any problem. Dveshyaha atmanaha apriyaha. So, priya means lovable, apriya is not at all lovable. Bandhuhu, sambandhi, relatives from your side, from your wife's side, from your children's side, from somebody else's side. Somehow you are related. And in this world, all said and done, most people are caught in a network of relatives, for they are unable to be detached, or they have moments of insecurity and they feel, oh, I need. There are many people who openly say that they go to some functions, etc., not because they enjoy the functions, but they say we never know. We have to be in touch with all these people. Suddenly we need help. We need support of these people. They even attend satsangs for socializing. They go to a spiritual program so that they know these families, those families know these people. So at times of need, you have people whom we can call. In this way, relatives, friends, social contacts, etc., are a web in which everyone gets caught. Detachment becomes very hard. Even as they try to have the goodwill of many people, alas, things go wrong also at places. It is in those parties only, in those functions only, it is in those get-togethers only that some misunderstanding takes place. And sometimes some family, which was otherwise in good terms with you, stops talking to you. 20 years they were close to you. Now, not in talking terms. Or as they put it sometimes, they don't see eye to eye. If somebody is, if that person is coming from that side, you go take a different route. I noticed once in an ashram in South India, there was a brahmachari and there was another brahmachari. And within a day, I learned that these two brahmacharis, both of them were working under one Swami. These two brahmacharis don't like each other. So there was a big building. And it was said to me in this language, if this brahmachari is coming from other end of the building to this end of the building by one corridor, the other brahmachari avoids that corridor. Even as he notices that that guy is coming from the southern corridor, he goes by the northern corridor, takes a different route to reach the same, reach his destination. In other words, they avoid even coming face to face. Life is like that. So it's a Himalayan task to be Samabuddhi. That is how Samabuddhi Vishishyate. Whom are we calling sadhu? Whom are we calling papa? Adi Shankara, rather than telling about someone who does good things, someone who does wrong things, he says, sadhu is somebody who follows the Shastra. Shastra anuvartishu api. Shastra anuvartana. And who is a sinner? Shastra pratishiddhakari. Doing things which are against what Shastras prescribe. Or he does things which Shastra, scriptures explicitly prohibit. Sarveshu eteshu samabuddhihi. Here comes a very sweet expression in the commentary of Shankara. He says, Kim kaha kim karma iti avyaprata buddhi. The yogaruda, somebody with enhanced detachment, is not unduly curious. Kaha kim karma. Who is doing what these days? When you have attachment, you want to know. Neighbors went and bought something. They bought a car. What model? What are the price? And so on. So who bought a car? Who bought a new house? Whose daughter is getting married? Whose son got a child? And all the ups and downs of people whom you know. You want to know. You're very eager. That is the sign of attachment. When you are attached, your mind will not be at peace. You will always be wondering what is happening with this person, with that person. If that person gets something more than what you got, you feel jealous. Oh my, how can he get more than what I got? This is how attachment leads to many evils. Jealousy, anger, depression, loneliness, insecurity. All this happens when we have attachment. Therefore, we must practice detachment. Practice means through understanding. Kaha kim karma iti avyaprata buddhi. Kim karma is a bahuvrihi samasa qualifying the word kaha. Kim karma, it's a very interesting, that kind of compound is hard in most other languages. Sanskrit permits an interrogative pronoun also to be made part of a compound. For example, kim karma, difficult to translate, is something like kim karma yasya saha. Kim karma yasya saha. He, about whose action there could be a question, what? Satkarma is somebody who does good actions. Dushkarma, masculine, therefore dirgha. A man who is always doing bad things is dushkarma. Man who is doing good things is satkarma. And if you want to have the sense of what is he doing, kim karma. Kaha kim karma iti avyaprata buddhi. Vishishyate. Such a person stands apart, stands many notches above everybody else. The popular version is Vishishyate, stands apart, is distinguished. And Shankara says there's another version also, Vimuchyate iti va pathantaram. Such a person is freed. Yogarudhanam sarvesham ayam uttamaha ityarthaha. Such a person who can have samabuddhi, By the way, Samabuddhi also is Bahuvrihi. Sama Buddhihi Yasya Saha. Sama Buddhi. He or she whose outlook is equal. So, of all yoga rudas, someone who has this equal vision is the best. Uttamaha ityartha. With this now we are set for taking up the verses that describe meditation. Atha evam uttama phala praptaye. In order to get the best results, in order to ensure our spirituality is most rewarding, how do we do? We must meditate. It is said in 10th verse, Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi stitaha ekaki yata chittatma nirashira parigraha. Yogi, right away, yogi here is by context the person who is ready for meditation, who wants to do meditation, who meditates. All these come into the word yogi. So let's just take the word meditator. The meditator should constantly connect himself with the higher. The world pulls us down again and again to things that are lower. There is indeed in this phenomenal world this division between the higher and lower. In high philosophy, you may say what is high, what is low, all are one. And that is high philosophy. But on the path of sadhana, one has to be very careful. Definitely, everywhere you find something higher, something lower. The better option, the worse option. The better option gives you greater eligibility for contemplation on the pure self. The poor option creates more obstacles. Life is full of choices. You need to be selective. You need to choose carefully. So, here the context is, what do we do in meditation? Atmanam yunjita. One translator puts it this way, Atma is oneself in a general way. One must put oneself in yoga. One must not let oneself slip into bhoga, the result of which will be roga. Bhoga causes roga. If one is in yoga, that gives swasthya. There is a yoga center in Bangalore where I am scheduled to speak on the 18th this month. It has a nice name, Niramaya Yoga Kutira. What a nice name. Yoga gives us physical and mental health. Niramaya means good health, swasthya. Amaya is all diseases. Half of people in this world have mental ailment. They may not have blood pressure, they may not have diabetes, they may not have many other so-called physical disorders, but they are unduly aggressive, unduly jealous, unduly possessive, unduly insecure. They are not at peace. They make their own life miserable. They make others' lives miserable. Otherwise, they are educated, suited, booted, coated. They are running a certain show, whatever in their field, in a very impressive manner. But get close to them, they are sick people. Oops. It's better to have a healthy person who may not make much money, who may not have a big position, who may not be CEO of a big company, etc., etc. Who cares? But he is healthy. his outlooks are healthy, he is a man of values, he is a man of character, then he will be happier and he makes people also happier. So, Yunjita Atmanam, connect yourself to God, connect yourself to truth. Do not be careless. If you are careless, you will actually not put yourself on yoga, you will put yourself on bhoga, enjoyments leading to roga. That is the outcome. Rahasistita. Some of these practices have to be done in privacy, quietly. Don't do it in such a way the whole town comes to know. And there will be a lot of disturbances. Ekaki. Wherever possible, do it alone. Though sometimes so-called group meditations can give us some encouragement. Group meditations. In transcendental meditation of Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, they do a lot of group meditations and they praise it. Well, it has a place. But then, how long can you be in the group? How often can you get people to join you? Or where are the groups which you can join? Everywhere you don't find groups. Therefore, for many reasons, while group meditation has a certain place of its own, meditation essentially is your personal affair. You must meditate, whether somebody joins or does not join. Yatha Chittatma, Chitta is mind, Atma here is body. Having controlled one's body and mind, Nirashihi. We cannot suffer from various desires and yet say, I want to be highly spiritual. But we have in our bosom so many desires for pleasures, for enjoyments, for projecting a certain image of us. We want people to look at ourselves in a certain way, which we are not. But we want them to see us. For example, somebody is not a scholar, but she wants everybody to look at her as a scholar. So she goes on giving lectures everywhere. But those lectures are so boring, people don't attend. They don't come in good numbers. And she is depressed. Wait a minute. Was there a need for you to give so many lectures? Was there a need, really, a genuine need for you to be knowledgeable in many subjects? Why don't you ask yourself some simple questions? What do I need in life? And if you are clear about what you need in life, what is essential for that? Then if by such introspection you will see, I really don't need fame, name, popularity. I don't need to sit on top of an organization. I head this organization with 1200 members, etc. It may give a kind of a kick to your ego, a boost to your ego, but ego extracts more than what it gives you. So, yatachittatma, nirashi, without desires, aparigraha, without possessions. Yogi means dhyayi, dhyanam karoti iti dhyayi, yunjita samadadhyat. Samadadhyat. Dadhyat itself means put, one must put, samadadhyat. Put everything together. Mind is going in 100 directions. Don't encourage that. Therefore, twice a day, if not more, drop everything else. Sit for meditation. It is in meditation that you are able to withdraw your mind from the matters of the world and fix in God. That is samadhana. Satatam sarvada atmanam antakkaranam. Connect your antakkarana with the pure self or with God. Ekante can mean Giri Guhadau. The word is Rahasi in the shloka. Rahasi means Ekante. Ekante means Giri Guha Adau. A cave on a mountain. Even in city life, you may find some quiet places in your neighborhood. Not easy to find in cities, but if you with a little attempt, you may. Suppose there's a park nearby, and you figure out that people come in large numbers after 7 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. You go there at 6 o'clock. Very quiet. Hardly anybody walking at 6 a.m. 6 to 6:30. You sit in that park, meditate, and you are done with it. That is called Giriguhadau Sthitaha Ekaki Asahayaha. Asahaya here doesn't mean helpless. In some other place, Asahaya can mean helpless. Here, what is meant is Sahaya here is companion. See, Shiva is called Uma Sahaya. Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhu Trilochanam Neelakantham Prashantam, says Kaivalya Upanishad. Dhyatva Munirgachati Bhutayonim Samasta Sakshim Tamasa Parasta. Uma Sahaya, the companion of Uma Parvati. Like that, in Guru Paduka Stotra, there is an expression which many people don't know what it means. Swaha Sahayaksha Durandarabhyam Namo Namah Shri Guru Padukabhyam. Swaha Sahaya. Swaha is one of the two wives of Agni. Swaha, wife's name. So Swaha Sahaya is companion of Swaha, that is Agni. And Lord Shiva has Agni coming out from his third eye. So Lord Shiva is called Swaha Sahaya Aksha, Aksha eye. And Guru Paduka Stotra praises the sandals upon which the Guru stands as those who at one time bore the weight of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva walked on these sandals, and today the sandals have come down through a parampara to my teacher. So my Guru's Padukas originally were the Padukas worn by Shiva or an avatar of Shiva, Sri Shankaracharya. So coming to the meaning Sahaya, Shankara Bhāshya says Ekaki means asahaya, having no companion. Rahasya sthitaha ekaki cha iti visheshana sannyasam krutva ityartha. So several of these words, having no companion, in your privacy, in quiet places all by yourself, all these imply one takes sannyasam. Sannyasam krutva yatha chittatma. Chittam antakaranam, atma dehascha. Sanyatau yasya saha. Here chitta means mind, atma here means body. The word atma means here body. So having controlled your mind and body, you must meditate. Sanyatau yasya. Yatha chittatma. Nirashihi. Vigata trishna. Trishna means desire. Let go of your desires. If you let go of desires, you will find such natural peace in you. You can't have the cake and eat it too. People say, I want Atma Anubhav, but I have a few desires. Don't ask me to leave them. I want to enjoy this. I want to go see that place. I want to eat this. I want to. It's a list of desires. Trishna. One doesn't want to leave even one of them, but wants to have Brahmanubhuti. How is it possible? Aparigraha, parigraha rahitascha ityartha. Sannyasitvepi takta sarva parigraha sanyunjita. Some sannyasis also keep so many things with them. They accept gifts, they collect, they organize, they want more and more. Sometimes they pride over having some some fabulous things in their possession. It can even sometimes be gold and silver. Oh, then what is the use? So one may take sannyas, but has one taken care to ensure that one's life is very simple? Many times that care is not taken. So all these are very important suggestions so that our meditation may become better. Now giving gross instructions, where to sit, how your seat should be, etc. Adi Shankara introduces that coming shloka number 11. Right from the verse 10, the portion on meditation has begun. Introducing 11, Bhashyakara says, Atha idanim yogam yunjataha asana ahara viharadina yoga sadhanatvena niyamo vaktavyaha. Rules have to be mentioned. Sri Krishna feels this is the time I must tell Arjuna the rules of the game for asana, where I may sit, how my seat should be, ahara, how my food should be, vihara, how my other activities should be. Because all of them are yoga sadhana. When they are done properly, yoga is accomplished. And further, prapta yogasya lakshanam tatphaladicha ityataha arabhyate. This portion of 23 verses also describes at places what characterizes somebody who has been meditating well and therefore has risen to greater heights. Prapta yogasya lakshanam, yogasya phalam ityadi arabhyate. Tatra asanameva tavat pratamam. So to start with something that is simple and gross, anybody can see with one's eyes, before talking about things happening in one's mind, it is said the asana should be so clean. We read a shloka. Shuchau deshe pratishtapya stiramasana atmanah nati uchritam nati nicham chailajina kushottaram. Stiram asanam. Sit at a place where it's not shaking. It's stable. And you can sit for a long enough time. Shuchau deshe, in a clean place. Stiram, let there be no movement. It should neither be high, that you may fall and hurt yourself, nor low in a pit, where suddenly one morning you get into the pit to meditate inside a pit, and you find a snake also is there. No, in natural surroundings, a pit can be dangerous. Your own house is a different matter. Everything is enclosed. But here the context is in natural surroundings. Na ati nicham, na ati uchritam, and lastly, chailajina kushottam. Adi Shankara carefully adds at the end of his short commentary on this, Atra kramaha chailadinam viparita. Though in the shloka it is mentioned chaila, that is cloth, ajina, deer skin, and kusha, that is grass. Actually, you put grass first on the ground, then deer skin, and on top a soft cloth. Don't put cloth first on the ground and then put some grass or deer skin and on top grass. And then you sit upon the grass, you will get itching. You won't be comfortable. So Shankaracharya says, put yourself in a nice stable place, not too high, not too low, and chailam ajinam kushascha uttare yasmin asani. Uttare means these are above, one above the other, and you sit on it. As we explained already, cloth should be on the top. Below the cloth, deer skin, and further below, is the cushion. We'll take up more shlokas on the meditation in class. Next class, because of daylight saving beginning in the West, the next class will be, let me talk about India first, not 7 a.m., no, not 8 a.m. From next week onwards, it's going to be 7 a.m. And as far as the West is concerned, no change. 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Because the daylight saving begins the same time, 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, will be in India, 7 a.m. from this Sunday onwards, that change comes into effect. Therefore, Gita class at 7 a.m. in India, 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, the previous day in West. Same Upanishad class also, we have made some changes. Those of you who get the e-newsletter AUPA, there's an announcement there. Some of you may not get the e-newsletter AUPA. Please send your email ID to us. We will add in the mailing list. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.